You always hear that Bitcoin is set in stone, right? It's this unchangeable, immutable ledger. But think about it. Any technology, if it's going to survive, has to evolve. So that's the big paradox, isn't it? How does something that's literally designed to resist change actually go about changing? All right, let's really get into that.
And, this isn't just some philosophical puzzle. It's the central challenge for the entire Bitcoin community. It really all boils down to one single massive question. I mean, that really is the billion-dollar question, isn't it? See, you can't just push out a software update like you would for, say, an app on your phone. We're talking about a global network here. Every single participant, from these huge mining pools all the way down to individual people running nodes, they all have to agree on the new rules. And the way they do that, well, the answer is in a concept called a fork. So yeah, whenever we're talking about updating Bitcoin, what we're really talking about is forking the code. But what on earth does that actually mean? Let's break that down. Okay, at its most basic level, a fork is just a change to the software's rules. Simple enough. But here's the catch. Bitcoin only works because everyone agrees on the exact same set of rules. That's how you get that single shared history. So any little change, well, it creates the risk of a split. A fork in the road for the blockchain. You know what? The easiest way to wrap your head around this is with an analogy. So for a minute, let's just forget about all the code. Instead, I want you to picture the Bitcoin network as a giant global highway system. Every transaction is just a car driving on that highway. And the protocol rules? Well, those are the rules of the road that every single driver has agreed to follow. And all the nodes on the network? Think of them as the drivers and the traffic cops. They're all constantly watching, making sure everyone is following the exact same traffic laws. This shared agreement, this consensus, is what keeps traffic moving smoothly and securely on this one single highway. So, what happens when someone decides they want to change the traffic laws? Well, that brings us to the first and honestly the most common type of upgrade, the soft fork. And if we stick with our highway analogy, this is kind of the cautious, less disruptive way to improve the road. So instead of tearing up the whole highway and rebuilding it, you just add a new lane. Maybe it's an express lane for certain types of cars, or a lane with slightly different rules. The key thing to remember here is that it's an addition. You're just adding on to what already exists. And this is where the analogy really clicks with the tech. See that term backward compatible? That just means the old cars, or in our case, the non-upgraded nodes, they can still drive on the main highway, no problem. Everything works for them. They just can't use that fancy new express lane because they don't understand its new tighter rules. And because it's just an optional add-on, the risk of splitting the whole highway in two is super, super low. And hey, this isn't just some abstract theory. We've seen this in action. Major upgrades like SegWit, which made transactions way more efficient, and Taproot, which seriously boosted privacy and smart contract capabilities. Both of them were rolled out as soft forks. They basically added new lanes to the Bitcoin highway without causing a massive traffic jam or splitting the network. Okay, but what if adding a new lane just isn't enough? What if you look at the highway and you think, you know what? This whole system is fundamentally flawed. We need to replace it entirely. Well, that's where hard forks come into the picture. And with a hard fork, we're not talking about an upgrade anymore. We're talking about a complete replacement. You're building a brand new separate highway right next to the old one. And this new highway has totally different rules. Maybe the speed limit is way higher. Maybe it allows completely different kinds of vehicles. Whatever it is, the crucial point is this. It is not compatible with the old highway. So this is probably the most important thing to get. Hard forks are not backward compatible. It's a clean break. The old software, the old nodes, they will look at the new blocks from this new highway and see them as totally invalid. They'll just reject them. So if you can't convince everyone, and I mean pretty much everyone, to abandon the old highway and move over to your new one, you end up with a huge problem. Two separate, competing highways splitting the traffic and the network itself permanently. And this table just lays it all out so clearly, right? You can see the trade-offs. Soft forks are way safer, they need less coordination, but the downside is they're less flexible. You can really only make the rules stricter. Hard forks, on the other hand, give you total freedom. You can change literally anything. But that freedom comes with the massive risk of splitting the network for good. And that's not just a what if. It's exactly what happened with the Bitcoin Cash split. So this risk of the highways splitting in two, it's not just theoretical. It became a very, very dramatic reality during what was probably one of the most intense and heated periods in all of Bitcoin's history. At the center of it all was a debate that was, on the surface, pretty simple. Should Bitcoin's highway, that is, its blocks, be made bigger to handle more traffic? You had one camp, the big blockers, who basically wanted to build a much bigger highway right away. And then you had the other side, the small blockers, who were arguing for a much more cautious, kind of surgical approach.
So the big blockers, they proposed a hard fork. Their plan was to dramatically increase the block size. Think of it as proposing a brand new 8-lane superhighway. The small blockers fought back with their own idea, SegWit, which was this really clever soft fork. Instead of building a bigger road, their plan would essentially make the cars smaller, so you could fit more traffic into the existing lanes. And for 2 years, the community was basically at war over this. In the end, they just couldn't agree. And so in 2017, the big blockers decided to go for it. They went ahead with their hard fork and created Bitcoin Cash, a permanent split from the main Bitcoin highway. And this is so important because it gets to the human side of all this. These debates, they're not just about technology. At their core, they're battles over philosophy, over the story of what Bitcoin should be. And the small blockers, they won the war for the main Bitcoin chain not just because of their code, but because they convinced the majority of the community that their vision, this cautious, decentralized, user-controlled network, was the better story for the future. And that whole episode, the block size war, it left a really deep mark on the Bitcoin community. I mean, it fundamentally shaped how everyone thinks about progress and change, even to this day. So here's the big takeaway, the really crucial point. The fact that it's so incredibly difficult to change Bitcoin, that isn't a bug, it's a feature. It's what makes the network so resistant to being taken over by any one group. It basically ensures that changes can only happen if there is overwhelming, massive consensus from the community. It's like a built-in immune system. And this really leaves us with the fundamental trade-off that's at the heart of every single proposed Bitcoin upgrade. On one hand, you have soft forks, which prioritize stability and keeping everyone together, and that's why they are so strongly preferred today. On the other hand, you have hard forks, which allow for radical, bold innovation, but they come with that terrifying cost of potentially shattering the network and the community forever. It's really a choice between careful evolution and a much more risky revolution. Which, of course, leads us to the final question, the one that really hangs over everything. In a world where technology is moving faster and faster every day, is Bitcoin's super cautious, slow-moving approach to change going to be its greatest strength, the thing that protects its value and integrity? Or will it become its biggest hurdle, a bottleneck that stops it from adapting to the future? The answer to that question? Well, that's what's going to define the next chapter of Bitcoin's story.